Let's see, according to the Wikia, cheerleism is a mythical creature that is believed to lurk somewhere in the Tumblr of Pan's general vicinity. She's been described as the opposite of Zoe, angry and cynical. Han and Ken bully her on a regular basis. She refuses to come on the podcast, supposedly because she doesn't like the sound of her voice. Theorists still question her existence. It was later revealed Pan had a previous relationship with her and even had a child called Tuesday or Wednesday, who was later lost at a Target and since split up. Cheerleism appears on Pan's gaming channel where they play Neopets.
So, but why didn't they update it where I said that I ate Wednesday by cooking her in the oven?
We're always in our clubhouse getting high. Super fuckers. Everybody wishes we would die. Super fuckers. Here we come like a bomb. Everybody fucking run and hide.
Hey, it's the RebelTaxi YouTube Pizza Party podcast on YouTube and not on Vimeo. No, sir, it's on YouTube. That's where it is. I'm Pan Pizza. Who are you people?
Why did you have to specify Vimeo? Is somebody uploading it on there?
That's where I find my tasteful nudes for later.
First
but
of
anyway.
all, Vimeo is a great website if you want to get paid for animation.
Wait, what?
Like like YouTube's where you put your stuff where you want to be seen, but Vimeo is where all the professionals go, and that's where like most of the people I know who do like really like get paid for freelance, mostly get their gigs from there.
Damn. Well, I guess because there's a lot less clout on there, like, it's just, hey, either you're making legitimate art or nothing at all on Vimeo, so it's, for professionals only.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because YouTube is just a random dumping ground.
YouTube is like a cesspool where just everything coagulates and like there's like a film like covers over it, and then if you poke it, like the fumes pop up and it like makes you knock out because it's so disgusting.
I mean, if you look up any animated cartoon on YouTube, it's just like here's several re-uploads of the cartoon, but in this weird like boxed quality where it's just like all these filters to get it past the copyright, and then someone's rant about it or something, and then my video possibly, and then a 107 Facts video of said cartoon, and that's all you get on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah, we should get rid of YouTube.
Yeah, we should.
It's a good run.
It's over.
Just end it.
I saved like $20 in my bank account. I don't need that shit anymore. Once you got $20, the world belongs to you. The world is yours. It's like Scarface.
The world belongs to you, and then the world ends with you.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. If I'm going down, I'm taking the world with me. Yeah. But, hey, we gotta announce that we're raising money for MomoCon this May 2018. And, Nolan, you finalize the thingies, or what you do?
We're going to be at MomoCon in May, and we're going to be doing a panel there. I'm still working out with PR what the panel is going to be about specifically, and how we're going to do it. But hopefully we'll be able to do some cool stuff for you all. And I'm really excited to...
If we space out these podcasts enough, like if we replace these podcast days on Tuesday with like one of those review things, like me and Nolan did with the 4th Powerpuff Girl, we could space it out enough where the 100th podcast episode is on MomoCon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're gonna make the 100th episode of MomoCon live, all of us together, and we're gonna be at the convention all weekend. So come say hi if you want. Please don't hurt me.
Although what I'm scared about MomoCon is like, I have nothing to show off. Like when you go to a convention, they always have something secret to show off. I'm like, I don't want to show you.
You could show a review that hasn't aired yet.
Yeah, I'm not gonna confirm anything on Pan's behalf, but I'm trying to convince him. So
yeah, I'm just like, it's like going to a high school reunion where you're like, I don't know what to show you. But if I did show a review, it'd be like, this comes out a week from now, so here's a week early.
That's kind of what happened with like Rick and Morty with Comic-Con. So
actually, 2 Comic-Cons ago, I remember seeing the animatic to Pickle Rick fighting all these rats, and it's like, oh, that finally came out.
That animatic was also put on the internet.
Oh yeah.
You're not special, Pan.
There's no secrets in convention anymore. But On Patreon, if you give us $100 on Patreon, we'll actually promote your stuff. And one of our Patreon supporters is Chaotic Inventor. He's a guy who makes like several analysis videos on like RPGs like Fallout and Skyrim. Now, I never played Fallout, but he was talking about how Fallout 4's intro sequence is is just very inferior compared to the third Fallout game, and it's like, I never played Fallout, but I kind of want to play this game now because it looks pretty interesting. Because I don't know, first-person shooters and RPGs aren't my thing, but Chaotic Adventure, I'll have the links in the description and the first pinned comment on YouTube here.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine Fallout 4 as being inferior when I've heard that Fallout 3's is already pretty bad. Because it's literally, you're just growing up, like you get born as a babu, and then you have to like create your character. And the funny thing is you play as like a toddler to pick out your stats, but if you go in third person mode on the computer, which you're not supposed to do, all it is just your main character's model when he's an adult but shrunk. And I'm just like, I don't expect them to make a toddler model, but you could have. Also, people in the chat are asking, can I give money to help Jim come back? You can help him come back really with the regular podcast, but part of the money is helping him get to MomoCon.
Yeah, pretty much. So
because we have to cover various expenses and stuff.
Help with the Patreon. Give us money on the Patreon, and that's gonna help us get to there.
Is there a way for someone that wants to just do one donation instead of doing a reoccurring Patreon thing? Is there like a PayPal or something?
Oh yeah, we could. Well, we could set up a PayPal later, and we'll put it maybe in the description or something.
My PayPal is RebelTaxi@yahoo.com, so you know. But so check out Chaotic Adventure on YouTube, and also I kind of had to make a rule now where it's like I can only promote someone after the payment from Patreon comes in, because like the last guy screwed me over.
Yeah, I was gonna say make sure they pay for the month, you know.
Yeah, so whoever the last guy is from last podcast, fuck them. Yeah. So anyway, you guys want to get into the topics or news or whatever?
Do we keep doing news, or like, because usually we record these and then they don't get uploaded until way after.
Well, this one's uploading this Tuesday, so it'll still be topical.
Also, there's a lot of actual like animation oriented things to talk about.
Yeah.
What?
So, yeah, because we got a new promote. Well, for one thing, 12 Forever. If you remember the Cartoon Network pilot it's on YouTube. It's coming to Netflix, and it has no affiliation to Cartoon Network anymore.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean,
interesting.
Personally, I found that pilot a little too similar to Star Versus in a way, but
yeah.
I mean,
but a lot of people really loved it, and now it's going to be on Netflix and not Cartoon Network, which is strange. But it's happened before. Like Adventure Time was on Nickelodeon first, and then it became a Cartoon Network show, and so some things have traded between channels.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that Netflix picked up something that was Cartoon Network oriented, like what's that? Problem Solvers, that really awful looking show. I don't know if Netflix produced it or if it was just one of those things where Cartoon Network...
No, it was just Cartoon Network, like, hey, we have these episodes left over, you air them. We don't want this crap.
There goes the dog.
Hang on.
The dog got really upset when he heard about Problem Solvers.
Problem Solvers, that's pretty bad, but I guess we can talk about this other Cartoon Network pilot that has been released recently. It's called Summer Camp Island. Have you guys seen this?
Yeah.
Hey guys, have you heard about this? Hey guys, have you heard about this?
What?
You say as like Summer Camp Island slowly like dissolves into like this disgusting mess, and like the characters start bleeding from the eyes.
It might as well, because I just feel uncomfortable watching that. It's just...
It really is uncomfortable. Like that was the word that kept coming to mind for me too.
I mean, okay, so Summer Camp Island is about these little animal kids, and they go to summer camp, and the kids love normal stuff, but the camp around them is freaking weird and surreal. It kind of has like a season 1 Adventure Time vibe, where all the talking creatures and whatever. But these kids, they say they're 14, but they act like they're 6 years old.
Yeah,
which is where the fetish sheath stuff kind of I don't know. It just feels like a preschool show, but they're 14, and it just feels like, you know, that Tumblr meme where it's like, ooh, this, like you are vowed. It kind of feels like that, where it's like, the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just like, it just broke me. I'm just like casual about cartoons, like, oh, everyone's so mad about Steven Universe, whatevs. And I'm just like, and then I see this come along and I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit?
It's just super, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, the art style of it is, I think they were trying to go for something a little kid can draw, like something they would draw in their notebooks in school. But it's not very appealing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's weird perspective all the time. Everything's alive. And the resolution of the actual episode itself made no sense. It was this guy that's like clearly upset that like the girl that he likes another person and he can't come to terms with it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like masking it with something else. And then his living clothes makes him dance. And then he decides after dancing within like half a second, oh yeah, this is going to be okay. I like this place now. Literally, there's no like actual character arc.
Yeah, it's just like, yay, I'm happy again. Oh wait, no, I'm not. Never mind. I see some people defending it in the comments with, have you never seen art by Julia Pott, who's the creator of the show? And if you look it up, like, she's an illustrator and you can see the similarities in her art, but her art looks better in, illustrated as a still image and not so much in motion.
Yeah, I was gonna say, a lot of people are like, well, have you seen their art? And I'm like, yeah, but you can't like translate every art style to animation. Like, for example, Berserk. It like literally Berserk's art like looks great, like, and then you watch like Berserk 2017, and then that'd be the same thing as going, well, haven't you seen the original?
It's like, look, if it doesn't stand on its own, I don't think us knowing the origin of it is gonna help,
Right? Yeah, that's kind of a weird argument.
Yeah, it's like,
it'd be like saying those school posters with like the characters with the really small eyes and big wide smiling mouths like had a really shitty animated adaptation. So then like they say, well, just look at the original, and then you go look at the school posters and you're like, yeah, it's still shit.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, like I saw Whatever Happened to Robot Jones, and I thought, this cartoon looks like fucking shit. But it was until I got older where I realized, oh, it's supposed to be Schoolhouse Rock. Now I get it. But as a kid, I'm just like, this looks terrible. I didn't get it.
Was it supposed to be? Are you sure it wasn't just the same studio?
No,
or?
I'm pretty sure whoever made Schoolhouse Rock is fucking dead and buried, so I don't think so.
Well, I mean, that goes against your argument then. Because you said that, like, knowing it should stand on its own, but you thought it was awful the first time you saw it, but then when you realized what it was referenced, now it was all.
I would say it was cool. I was just like, oh, I guess... I don't know. It just looked bad from the start. So on its own, it just looks bad. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like, I'm not going to defend Robot Jones. I'm going to say, yeah, it does look like shit.
Yeah, no one's asking you to defend Robot Jones.
I'm looking at Julia Pott's art. It looks nice, but like the show, her art kind of reminds me like the most hipster ass Polaroid snapping, like Urban Outfitters shopping.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It looks super hipstery. Like, this is the most stereotypical hipster thing. Like, you would find this art like framed on like some hipster's loft somewhere up in the city, where they share it with like 3 other people, and they go to the local
Are you trying to do the Newgrounds thing but with hipsters?
Mumford and Sons concert.
I will stop you right here and now.
While they watch, what's that guy? Okay. What's that movie with like Bill Murray and like Wes Anderson watching Paper Cup?
Okay, it doesn't work if you have to ask us what you're trying to say.
I don't know. I'm going off the fly, and it's just like, this is the most hipster ass shit I have ever seen. I fucking hate this. Like, look up the music video that's called "Being a Dickhead is Cool," because it's like, this is super fucking hipster as shit. It's like, but this, no, Summer Camp Island, I fucking hate this more than life itself. It's just like, they fucking disgust me. I want this destroyed.
That's cool. That's cool.
I just want to like throw it out here that like he specifically asked us to make sure we watched it so we could talk about it. That's how much Pan hates it.
I was not told this, but
It was in the group Discord. It was in the.
when was it though? I might have missed it because
It was earlier today.
Oh well, yeah, I was busy all day.
Hello.
I wasn't checking, but anyway, this is actually a bit of news I'm adding on to the plate. I recently went on Twitter and found out the Twitter Animated JL, which is a Justice League fan Twitter, talked to Susan Eisenberg, the voice of Wonder Woman from the Timverse Justice League show. She said that if you want an original Justice League animated movie with the original cast from the show, which would most likely be a lot better than the movie that currently is out in theaters, you have to tweet at WB Home ENT, Home Entertainment, and with the hashtag JL Reunion. And this is actually a thing. And Andrea Romano, who recently went into retirement, said, "Oh, I'll totally come out of retirement to voice direct that movie." So basically, and Kevin Conroy's on this too. And I really like the Justice League animated series. And if you guys want this to happen, you just got to tweet at Warner Bros. Home Entertainment, which is WB Home ENT, hashtag JL Reunion. And this stuff works. You know, tweeting actually works more than petitions do. So, like companies pay a lot more attention to Twitter and hashtags than they do petitions because they're like, oh well, the kids are hashtagging it.
Yeah,
so I mean, good thing.
Crap, what was I gonna say? Damn, but yeah, I mean, it's bound to happen because like it's nostalgia and like, hey, people want to see it again. It's like when they brought back the old Batman the Animated Series for Batman and Harley Quinn. That was a good one, you know.
That was not a good one.
You know what? And no.
Yeah. It was kind of like
a
very long, extended Robot Chicken sketch that never ended.
So you're saying it's only good through the guise of it being terrible?
It's just like, wow, they made this. This is something.
A lot of other things have happened through Twitter campaigns, like Young Justice Season 3, so that proves Warner Brothers does listen to a certain extent.
It's bound to happen. So yeah, the Justice League cartoon can come back as like a TV special. Like Warner Brothers makes like a TV movie like every 3 months or so. Like, you know, it's gonna happen.
Well, they got to make up for the failures that their cinematic universe is going.
Yeah, basically.
I have not seen Justice League yet.
I really hope that if they do make an animated Warner Bros. Justice League movie, that it isn't like as bad as the recent ones have been, because some of them are really good and the other ones are garbage. Because the Adam West ones, which I think Jim said at some point, he speculated that was going to be like its own little mini universe, but then Adam West fucking died. So.
Yeah.
But then there's also like this shit, like all the Batman standalone movies have been garbage so far.
Yeah,
like Killing Joke was bad, Batman and Harley Quinn was really bad.
I'm already angry at Batman Ninja just because he's dressed like a goddamn samurai. He looks nothing like a ninja. I don't understand.
I really love how it looks like Berserk 2017.
今の俺様はこの日本で一番の実力者第六天魔王ジョーカー様だここはどこだ
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that, but look, they got a bunch of cool people working on it. They had that intro credits. Yeah, because we're talking about Batman Samurai. Is that what it was called?
Batman, it's being animated and by a studio that's really popular or something.
Batman Ninja?
Yeah. I watched the trailer a couple days ago when I was in my strep throat sick haze, so I don't remember specifically, but yeah, it honestly is like it looks kind of lame. Like I hope it's good, but
looked like it'd be fun.
Okay. So the comment said that like it's actually based off a comic from the 90s, which makes me feel so much better about it because of how inaccurate the design is to what it's supposed to be. I felt that was very much like an early 80s, early 90s thing.
Yeah.
So that makes so much more sense.
On the same token, though, like of all the like alternate universe Batmans to adapt, why not adapt like the either the vampire one or the the one where he's like in the early 1800s. It's like a steampunk Batman.
Oh, Batman. I forget, but they were making a video game on that, and like the test animation on that video game looked really amazing because
I remember seeing that a long time ago.
I mean, just the cape animation's like, wow, this game is canceled, but like, damn, they spend a lot of time on that cape animation. That is the best cape animation I've ever seen in real-time video game footage.
But what about Batman Dark Tomorrow?
Oh, I have that up there in my shelf. That's a piece of shit. I was thinking like the other day, like, man, they should make another Batman anime, because when The Dark Knight was coming out, the 2008 movie, they had this like anthology series by different anime directors, kind of like the Animatrix, except it has no connection to the movies. And it's like, some of these are pretty awesome. Like, I would love to see a Batman anime, and I guess this is kind of the thing we're gonna get now, sort of. Oh, Gotham by Gaslight. That's what it was.
Gotham by Gaslight, yeah, I remember.
I mean, in all honesty, I'm just kind of done with Batman. I don't care anymore. Like,
I don't think people care about superheroes anymore either.
No.
Yeah, there's definitely some superhero fatigue.
Yeah, it's not like mainstream yet, but it's settling. It's growing.
I think the thing is it's standardized. Like, oh, another superhero movie's coming out next month. Whatevs. You know, it's not an event really anymore.
Right, like, well, Avengers just released their new trailer, and like I watched it, and I was like, I'm not any more excited about this movie than I was before. Literally, It didn't seem fun. It was just all action shots, and there's so many characters now. Like, you know, it's gonna be a cluttered mess of storytelling, and there's like 2 jokes in it, and those are the 2 moments I enjoyed. And we've learned with Thor Ragnarok and the Guardians of the Galaxy that like right now that's what people want. They want more like comedic stuff than they want the action. Yeah. And that's what I want. I just want a couple of superheroes hanging out. Like, if we can go back to where like the Avengers were like getting drunk trying to pick up the hammer, and they made a whole movie about that, I'd be so down.
Yeah, that honestly was probably the best part of Age of Ultron, and there was nothing else good about it. They literally released that, and then everything else about that movie was kind of lame.
Yeah. Age of Ultron wasn't really an age. It was like a weekend of Ultron.
And screw
weekend at Ultrons.
Screw Ultron, now we get to fight Bruce Willis.
Yeah. That's what I thought, like, what's the purple guy's name again? Oh, Galactus? No. What's his name? You know, the guy's name. Help me out here. What's that guy's name? The big guy.
I don't know.
Thanos?
Thanos! That's his name. Yes, Thanos, the Hands of Fate. I didn't know you
were fucking talking about Thanos.
Yeah. You know what I mean. Yeah. I mean, I like how, for some reason, there was that one shot where it's like them running towards the camera and like a billion different people we've never seen there. You know, you know what we need is like the Kingsman church fight scene, but with a bunch of superheroes, and it's just complete fucking madness. That'd be great.
I really just wish they'd start doing more crazy shit, like straight up. I feel like
that's what they're trying to do now, like Thor Ragnarok. That basically said, you know what? Fuck all the Thor movies. Let's just let's do something stupid.
I know, I get that, but like, I mean, like stupid anime bullshit, like the stuff that fucking Mike and Jay hate, where things get really fucking crazy and they can't have any fun. Like, this just isn't realistic. It's taking a movie.
They love schlock, you know. They liked that one X-Men Apocalypse movie, you know.
They don't like action schlock though. Like it apparently takes them out of the movie, and they're just too serious film critics. So it's like,
nah.
I mean, I don't say I don't hate Mike and Jay, but like I'm definitely becoming desensitized and disenchanted with their critiques because they just kind of get a little too uppity in my opinion. But then again, you know, I am a pretentious animation student, so you know.
Yeah, go start fights with
who's the real loser here?
Why don't you go start fights with our guest again? Honk honk.
Listen, Ian, you know I had to do it to him. Yeah. I saw with lost arms on the sidewalk.
Someone in the chat said we should get H Bomber guy to be on the podcast. I love that guy.
Who that? Cool. H Bomber sounds familiar.
He's cool.
I mean, if you guys want, I mean, I hate like making. If you guys want guests on the podcast, they'd probably be more inclined if you politely suggested it. Don't like go like get on the podcast, but if you like say, hey, you guys should check out this podcast and guest star on it, they'd probably be more inclined, because sometimes people don't respond to me, and I'm usually the one who like has to contact. Pan usually gets like the bigger guests, and I get like the more online people.
I get the porn stars.
Oh,
Yeah, Izzy gets porn stars for some reason. She knows a lot of porn stars. I don't know how. I'm kind of a little jealous, but you know. This is a little tease, but it's not 100% confirmed yet. There's no date yet, but I emailed Psychic Pebbles and he expressed interest, so that'll be interesting.
Okay.
Psychic Pebbles is an animator. He was on Sleepy Cabin. He did a lot of other stuff for JonTron. He's a really cool dude. I really like his.
Are we allowed to talk about Frederator on here, Pan?
I don't know. Maybe. What you gonna say?
So my favorite thing about Psychic Pebbles is that him and the Sleepy Cabin guys got on the like live podcast show that Frederator had for a little bit with Cade and this annoying guy, and
rude.
And they basically were just kind of trolling them the entire time, and they kept talking about how Psychic Pebbles and Oni and them are all really obsessed with Jimmy Neutron, and how it was the greatest show ever. And like the Frederator dudes weren't like keen on the sarcasm. And so they legitimately were talking about how much they love, you know, Jimmy Neutron to kind of like bridge that gap and become friends. But and then even at a certain point, I think they muted their mics.
Oh.
But yeah, search Sleepy Cabin and then like Cartoon Hangover, and it's a very enjoyable like half an hour.
Ruh-roh.
We here at Pizza Party Podcast do not agree with the views of Sleepy Cabin. Please don't kill us, Frederator. Frederator holds a gun up to my head. No!
If we want to burn any bridges, I just want to say that I had some Burger King for the first time yesterday in forever, and it's like, wow, this tastes like shit.
I can't believe you say that's going to burn bridges.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like, damn, it's like, it's been so long since I've had Burger King. It's like, this is awful.
Burger King does not endorse the Pizza Party Podcast.
As far as we know, you never know what plays behind the videos.
You have sponsors. You have hidden sponsors, Pan, because it's illegal for you to have those without disclosing them.
I was gonna say, you should see if Blue Apron will sponsor us, because I want money.
Whoa, yeah.
This podcast is not sponsored by Blue Apron yet, but it could be.
Yeah.
I like money.
I really want like Pizza Hut or something, since we're a Pizza Party podcast.
Yeah.
Fun story about Pizza
we'll probably get Domino's.
No, fun story about Pizza Hut, since people keep bringing up Pizza Hut in the chat. When I was I got some garlic knots from Pizza Hut because it just was like a deal, and I was like, okay, why not? And they arrived, and they did not have garlic nor marinara sauce with it, so they were just like cheese bread, essentially.
The fuck's the point?
And I mean, I wasn't mad because it was like, you know, I'm not gonna get mad over a fucking like side of pizza, because I know how customer service is. So I call, and I'm like, my garlic didn't. Oh wait, no, I think actually I typed online. I said my garlic knots did not come with garlic or marinara sauce. I am so infuriated right now, as a joke. So just to see if I could get something for free, and they gave me a large free pizza coupon, and I basically got a free pizza.
Nice.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Here's some bullshit though. So Papa John's, like, and I know Papa John's, but when Papa John's gives you a free pizza coupon out of customer service, you still have to pay the delivery charge. But Pizza Hut doesn't. So score 1 for Pizza Hut. You guys are cool.
Well, also, my favorite thing is that, like, I think it was Domino's that, like, said something about changing their policies because of, like, sales being down or something. But, like, Papa John's, on the other hand, blamed black people for kneeling.
That's what you get for kneeling before Zod.
No, apparently, during that time where, like, people were kneeling instead of doing the traditional national anthem thing, apparently that made pizza sales go down.
Oh no, my pizza sales!
They stole that guy's pizza sales.
Oh no, Dr. Connor's class.
Let's talk about the Yo Noid 2 game and how great that was for what.
Oh shit, I haven't played that yet, but that looks great.
I commissioned a Pixel GIF from God, let me look up his Twitter handle because he deserves a shout out. He's a good boy, certified good boy TM. I commissioned a GIF of his character, getting wrapped because me, and
Oh.
he did it very well, very quickly. His name is on Twitter is Sneak29. He's a great artist. Please go give him some love. If you want to commission somebody, go commission him. He's good. He's very good. And he did artwork for Yo Noid too.
Yo Noid 2.
He's very talented.
For those unfamiliar, Yo Noid 2 is a fan-made sequel to the NES game Yo Noid, but instead of it being a 2D platformer, it's a Super Mario-esque, like Super Mario 64-esque platformer that's got like really low poly graphics, but it's surprisingly fun.
Yeah, I've been meaning to play it, but I love that pixelated CGI PS1 graphic style.
So basically low poly.
Yeah.
Geocentric says, "Hey Nolan, talk about your art commission of Max G." Oh yeah, I commissioned Hot Diggity Demon to draw himself wrapped, and I thought it was funny. But yeah, back on Yo Noid 2. I really love low poly games, especially PlayStation, because my friend Elvis told me a lot about how the PS1's architecture was made, and he described it as being made with toothpicks and glue, essentially. Basically, since this was their first console, a lot of the way they did 3D was very unorthodox, but since they had discs, it was like cheap to make and like easy. And it could still do 2D games really well, so they were mostly 2D games until developers were like, "Oh, so that's how you do 3D."
Yeah.
But a lot of the textures were flickered a lot, etc.
Yeah, it felt like the PS1 was about to burst whenever there's a 3D polygon on screen.
Yeah. I think, okay, so let's talk about the best looking PS1 game, and my vote's on Silent Hill.
Crash Bandicoot series, because you should look up the Boundary Break video where they show how the camera hides everything that's not on screen, and they just take full advantage of what the PlayStation 1 is capable of, because Crash Bandicoot still looks amazing for PS1.
I think the art direction is really good, but another technically impressive game is Spyro. That game, the way they programmed that game, you instead of having far off polygons, they usually just would render fog. So that was the draw distance. But Spyro managed to program a way for polygons to be rendered very low in the distance, so that you could it looked like you were traveling across big vistas. So
Yeah.
I think Spyro might have been the game that pioneered that. I'm not entirely sure.
Possibly, but yeah, the idea that things that are far away have a low polygon model until you get up close to them, then there's the more detailed model.
Yeah, games still do that today.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You're both wrong about
What?
which game looks the best.
Which-
It's obviously Abe's Odyssey, Oddworld. Have you seen that game?
That is a good point, but
Yeah.
Abe's Odyssey uses a lot
That's
of
pre-rendered.
Yeah, pre-rendered doesn't count. It has to be
It does too count.
Well,
No, there is no
okay.
prerequisite about what it's only 3D oriented.
Okay.
You did not specify. You said what is the best
Okay.
looking PS1 game?
You are right, but in my head, I was thinking. I mean, that's a cop out, but I was thinking in my head, fucking 3D models, not.
Yeah.
I was thinking 3D models and not pre-rendered stuff, because then we could say Final Fantasy 7 or 9, because those pre-rendered backgrounds look fucking amazing.
Well, I mean, I assumed, at least my idea was the whole game as a whole. So gameplay, cutscenes, and everything was kind of taken into account. So something Final Fantasy 7, which has really great pre-rendered cutscenes, but the actual gameplay looks like shit. It's one of those. Oh, the backgrounds look great, but that Cloud Strife character overworld thing with those giant arms.
Those are endearing.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Those Popeye arms.
I think right now we're in this renaissance of people really loving pixel art, but give it 5 years, I'm kind of expecting this low poly love, and you can even see it now with they're making toys of low poly figures. You can get the Jet Set Radio guy.
What?
Yeah, you can get him low poly as a figure, and it's amazing.
Jet Set Radio low poly figure.
I think Pan. I was trying to say Pam came. Fuck! I was trying to say Pan came, but I combined the words into Cam.
Oh no!
If we're still going by Izzy's I still vote Silent Hill, because the pre-rendered cutscenes look great. They look obviously PS1, but they don't look Uncanny Valley terrible. like fucking
Mhm.
Tekken does, where the guy throws the dude off a volcano and then it slowly zooms in on his face and he just slowly smirks and you can tell it's keyed very poorly.
Oh, yeah.
However, you could also say that like Silent Hill, just in general, is a really smartly it's made very smartly.
Yeah, totally. They were like, oh man, we have to deal with this low rendering, and then it's like, wait, why don't we just use that?
Yeah, and like they built the game around it and made it even more scary by just like, taking away what you can see, which is just really cool.
Yeah, and then Silent Hill 2, once it jumped to the PS2, they just added on effects to it essentially, which looks really good. One thing I really like is how many layers of fog there are. I'm pretty sure it's either Digital Foundry or there's some videos around on YouTube where you can find them like breaking down the effects of Silent Hill 2 bit by bit. But basically the fog is a lot of layers and they're so like strategically done where it actually looks like a dense, like vicious fog. It's so good. I love Silent Hill 2. I would make love to it if I could.
There is 2 games on the PlayStation that I want to like make like they're not necessarily best looking games, but they're 2 games that are very important to me. The first one is Brain Dead 13.
Oh God.
If you guys are fans of like Dragon's Lair and stuff like that, it's pretty great. It's basically a horror version of, well, not horror. It's a Halloween themed version of that, where a computer repair guy goes in and fixes a mad scientist's computer, then insults him, and it's like one of the first like elements of like meta humor with him kind of like, oh, I guess you're a scientist, huh? Which is not something that happened a lot during that era.
Mhm.
And then basically you're trying to escape the mansion as an Igor that has a bunch of weapons for hands, and there's various things like a sports themed Frankenstein's monster and Vivi, which is the hottest character in video games, more or less, which is just a big tit vampire.
Uh-oh.
Just trying to give you a haircut.
Oh boy.
And
what was
then
the other game?
The other game is, it's not, again, it's really special to me, but it's Digimon World, the first one. It's just it like a lot of the sound effects is very nostalgic for me, and for whatever reason all the characters are voiced by Izzy from the show.
Yeah.
And then it's basically a Tamagotchi but with a story mode.
Yeah, well, they're the same company.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, Digimon is just battle Tamagotchis, but like the game itself, it was before the show, or like it came out during the same time, but obviously game production made it was beforehand. And so it follows a lot of the Tamagotchi rules, where any of the Digimon can turn into anything based on how well you train it. And so you had to feed it. You had to walk your Digimon to the pooper. Like if it pooped without hitting a toilet 3 times, it turns into poop itself.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and like the whole game is about you exploring File Island and trying to bring back the Digimon back to the city. And as you like recruit new members, the city actually grows and people open up establishments and such. It's just it's not like a good game. I couldn't recommend it to many people, but like the nostalgia factor for me, it's like my Ocarina of Time.
Okay, the way you describe it, I think they should bring that back, because it kind of sounds like one of those town maker app games in a way, somewhat. Like
kind of, but like how you recruited the Digimon, it ranged from either like beating them in a battle to playing like a mini game, to there's one where you talk to a ghost Bakumon, and like if you answer his questions correctly, you can't understand him, so you're just like vaguely answering yes or no to these gibberish. He will just walk away, and then just like Bakumon joined the city, and he just guards the city at night.
Wait, wasn't there a show called Bakuman already? Hang on. Oh, that came out after.
Bakumon. It's like, it basically means stupid monster.
Yeah, wasn't it like some marble thing? Bakuman that aired later.
I know Bakuman.
No, you're talking about Battle Bakumon. No, Battle Beatamon.
And I swear there was one. Yeah, Bakuman. It's literally how it said, Bakuman. I don't know, but that was one of those things they would air on Cartoon Network at 6 a.m. Nobody cared.
There was one with marbles. Battle Beatamon, I think it was called.
Beatamon, that's what it was.
Yeah, and it has the best theme song. Just listen to it. It's so fucking good.
I'll look it up later.
There's it's 4 different like music genres in like 30 seconds. It's ridiculous, but I really, really like it.
times the challenge was made. A sport of honor so many have played. Through all the highs and lows, victory or disaster, only the best can be called. Be the champion. Be the fire, get ready. Here we go, take down your foe, you got the skill inside, come on.
Whoa. One Pokemon, or Digimon knockoff that never took off that I remember. Does anyone remember the GameCube video game Amazing Island? Okay, no, because
vaguely.
Okay, basically, like, there was, you could create your own creature. Like, they would give you a skeleton rig, and you would draw the creature out, like, the outline of it, and you change the depth and add, like, wings or random objects, horns and stuff, and it was like, this is pretty cool. And then the actual game is nothing but just a generic mini-game collection. It's like, oh, well, what's the point? And then there's another game that's similar to that called Graffiti Kingdom, which has like a 15-minute long intro cutscene that you cannot skip. And once you finally get to the fucking game, it's like, that's what I wanted. Like, look up Graffiti Kingdom on PS2. That's a good character creator thing, because I was thinking, like, there needs to be a game where you can create your own character, but it goes into so much depth like that, you know? Like,
speaking of
there are a lot of like Korean MMOs that have like in-depth character creators. Like, I remember seeing footage of one where you could like basically change the model like any way you wanted with a bunch of sliders.
Yeah.
And it was super in-depth.
What if Loki IRL was a video game and you could create your own cartoon and you'd play as that cartoon?
Oh, you could try to do if it was like I don't know how it would work in 3D, but if you ever did like the Draw the Life game where you could draw your main character you play as. It was on the
something
DS.
like that. I don't know, because I was thinking of like something like that where it's like, hey, or some game that involves you just like creating your own OCs and everyone shares their OCs with each other. That'd be cool.
Sonic Forces?
Well, that's strictly Sonic OCs.
I'd like a good game to go along with that OC character.
Okay, legitimately, if they like released a $10 version of Sonic Forces where you can just play as the OC in the Green Hill Zone, it was like $10-15, I would buy it.
If it was like retroactive and you could play all of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 through it, that'd be cool too.
No, I mean that'd be cool, but it wouldn't be $20.
I would really like to play
I honestly, well, the original idea for Sonic Forces that Sonic Team pitched was literally just you don't play as Sonic, you just play as the avatar.
That would have been so much better. Holy shit.
But then Sega was like, are you fucking serious? No one's going to buy that. And now everybody's like saying the avatar was the best part of the game.
It really was.
And then Sega like said, oh, you have to have classic Sonic, you have to have modern Sonic. And it's like Sega just like listens to their fans so hard that they just completely miss the point. It's so dumb. I hate Sega.
Yeah.
Sega and Sonic Team both are the most poorly mismanaged companies ever.
Does Sega do anything besides Sonic games? Like, they have so many IPs that they're just like, yeah, we're not going to touch this.
The problem was with Sega was that around the time they stopped making consoles, they were basically about to go into bankruptcy until Sammy bought them out. So Sammy became Sega Sammy Corporation, and they stopped making consoles, and they tried to sell their other IPs, and then at that time they just basically tried to finish off their projects, and then they focused solely on Sonic because Sonic was money. Sonic makes money. Sonic and Football Manager are their two biggest IPs, and like there are people inside Sega who like, we want to make other games, but Sega's like, but Sonic makes money. So and I don't think that's necessarily the fans' fault. I think the problem is that Sega is such a poorly managed company that I could rant on forever about Sega. I hate them. I know they're EA is like a despicable, like, money grubbing piece of shit company. Sega is just completely inept.
Damn. Yeah, because like they're just sitting on so many good IPs that we'll be lucky if they show up in like some random crossover tennis game or whatever.
They were technically costumes in Sonic Forces.
Oh yeah,
they were.
I mean, one IP that he completely forgot about was Comic Zone, and that's a really cool one. That it's like, wow, this is such a cool idea, and it's fucking nothing's been done with this game since the frickin' 90s. It's so sad.
I was gonna say, that was a Genesis game.
Yeah.
Do you know if that was owned by Sega or just published?
Sega and Sega Interactive Works or some weird offshoot of Sega.
STI, Sega Technical Institute.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, because that's one of those things you have to kind of like also take into consideration.
They threw it in all those like Genesis collection stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, do something with this. Oh, but going back to Graffiti Kingdom, I'm looking it up online and I see people are still making stuff of Graffiti Kingdom, like they're making Rick or Garnet, and it's like, there needs to be another game for maybe the Switch or something. Like, does the Switch have a touchpad?
Yep, kind of.
Yeah, they gotta bring Graffiti Kingdom back to the Switch and just have you design your own characters. Like, that'd be so cool.
Yeah,
like,
it's not, I mean, it doesn't come with a stylus, and I don't think you're supposed to actually use it, but you can like button press, like it is touchscreen.
I know there's also some game on the PS4, some downloadable game called Draw Fighters or something, and it's like, oh, this is just like what I wanted, except it's garbage and it's not very good at all. Never mind. Yeah, so someday I'll buy the rights to Graffiti Kingdom and re-release it as Loki IRL, the game where you can create your own OCs and play as them.
I know this is like super, I don't know, counterproductive, but I really want a Sonic Adventure remake, but make it good.
Well, define good, because how would you retool the entire game?
Well, like I really like the story, and I wish more games would do the whole having multiple characters see different sides of the main story. That's really really cool.
Like Pulp Fiction.
And I know that I know people don't like Big the Cat, which I actually fucking love. I think Big the Cat's great. I want him in like if they make another Sonic Mania, I don't want him playable. I just want you to be running around Green Hill Zone and there's like a small hidden section where you can see him fishing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want.
Like maybe you like have Big in the background and maybe you have the option of joining him for fishing. You know,
I think the problem with Sonic Adventure was not the presence of those mini games, but the fact that they were mandatory in order to complete the game.
I didn't mind it when I was younger, but maybe if I play it now, I'd be like, oh, do I have to?
Well, the big issue now is that like Sonic Adventure is almost unplayable because they keep porting over a PC version of it, which like every time they re-release it, it's a port of a port of a port.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so like it's getting more and more buggy as you go. Like the whole falling through things and all that other stuff doesn't happen nearly as much if you actually boot up the old Dreamcast.
Yeah.
But whenever you play the GameCube or updated versions like on a 360, those are always going to be buggy.
Yeah. Also, when they ported it to the PS3, they didn't even make it widescreen. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's something that fucking Ego Raptor abused just to be biased and say, oh, Sonic is shit. He kept abusing glitches from the like shitty ports and like, oh man, this game is so bad. I'm so funny. I'm hilarious, Ego Raptor. But back on topic, though, there have been people, like some call me Johnny, who want like a Sonic Adventure 3 or just at least another Sonic Adventure style game. And on one hand, I like the boost gameplay a lot more because I think it's a lot more arcadey and fun. But on the other hand, like I'd welcome another adventure game, but here's my beef. In this current state Sonic team is in, do you really want them to make it? That's what I'm saying. Just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Because let me just say it like this. So we have Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Generations, which control like a dream. Then they made Sonic Lost World, which is fucking garbage. And then they made Sonic Forces, which is just another boost game. But instead of just recycling old code like they did most everything else, they recycled Sonic Lost World's code and modified it, and it's awful. So
they need to hire more than like 2 people working on the game, though.
Well, no, not even that. It's like they need to hire competent people. The problem isn't just the people they hire to make the game. The problem is the management of Sega, because there's no reason for Sonic Forces to be the way it is, especially now. Mm-hmm. Sonic Forces was a game made 4 years for the engine and then 2 years for the actual game itself, if like code digging is to be believed. Some people think it's 1 year, but whatever. So like we have a game that heavily relies on recycled concepts. The levels are so short that the game can be beat in 2 hours. There's no reason for the game to be like this. And they only have like 6 environments, whereas like Sonic Generations had 9. Other games had like 9 also. This game only has like 6 or less, and 2 of them are recycled. So, like, there's no excuse for Sonic Forces to be as bad as it is, and that can be put down to a terrible production cycle, a bad management pipeline, etc. They just need to restructure the whole Sonic team, all of Sega, but they won't do that. So,
well, the lead character designer, or not character designer, the lead the stage designer had only worked on like a Sonic game or something. Like the entire team was like new and fresh, and there was only like 3 people.
well, the level designers, 2 of them were newcomers, and then the head level designer was a leftover from Lost World, which is a red fucking flag there. But also the reason, like I said, it is still management because the producer is Shu Nakamura, who directed Sonic 06, and he's somehow still around. But he said in like a special TV interview that they designed the level so you could blaze through them as fast as possible, which, while yes, that is sort of the point, that's like, that's like the selling point. That's not the main point of Sonic stages. The main point of Sonic stages is to like weave through them, like the levels will weave in and out of each other, and there will be multiple routes you can go through. And he just thinks you just press the button and you go. That's how people like Sonic games, right?
Oh.
So they keep bringing back people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. They have Takashi Iizuka has been running Sonic Team for years, and it's a fucking disaster. God damn it!
Yeah.
I just don't know. I honestly, at this point, I just don't know what they can do to salvage 3D Sonic, because we could have a Sonic Adventure 3, but will it be any good? Like not even from like a design standpoint, just flat out, will Sega be able to make a good game?
Well, and then like on top of that, like if Sega didn't do it, like if it wasn't Sonic Team and they did another studio, it would probably end up being like Pac-Man World or 3, where like they'll hire the cheapest studio to make it so that it's not big. That's not big of a risk.
We already had that. It was called Sonic Boom.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me just put this into perspective. Sega has let Sonic 06 level disasters happen twice.
No, come on. It's okay. Yeah, I guess Sonic Boom is that bad.
Sonic 06. Okay, people seem to think that Sonic has had more bad games than good, and that's like not true. He's had more polarizing games, I admit. Like people argue that Unleashed isn't all that great, or Heroes.
I like Unleashed.
Well, no, I know. I like it too, but I'm saying you can argue. Like you can argue like if they're good games or not, and either way you'd be justified. The only 2 flat out games that are flat out like terrible, like in the canon series, is Shadow and Sonic 06. The problem was that Shadow and Sonic 06 were so fucking awful, they literally changed the public perception of Sonic forever.
Oh.
If those 2 games hadn't existed, people would just be like, "Oh, Sonic's all right."
What if
he's had some, rocky games, but he's not bad. But no, because of Sonic 06 and Shadow, it ruined like Sonic. Just flat out ruined it.
What if we make Shadow the Hedgehog 2?
Somebody in chat said that, and I want to punch them and you.
I mean, look, how much worse can it be? What if we added like a cover mechanic or something terrible, make it even edgier? I don't know.
I'm really curious if Nolan's gonna kill you, like come out through the screen and like stab you.
No, I'll wait at MomoCon.
Oh boy. But you know what we gotta make another Sonic game of is a Sonic Battle, the fighting game. Anyone remember on the Game Boy Advance?
I hated Sonic Battle. Fuck that game.
It wasn't good.
It was super exploitable. Like, okay, you get a basic like punch and kick attacks, and also you'd have like a special attack, which is like, I don't know, bomb, dash or something. And like, it's like Smash Brothers, where you kill a character once and they respawn. Well, if you do a special, they automatically block that special, so you would have to like do a different special. And then once you kill them with that, you just go back to the other special again, and it's the most exploitable fighting game mechanic ever. Someone also Bitface's Sonic R needs a fucking remake.
I think the concept of Sonic R needs a remake. Why? Okay, literally, here's something Sega could do to make a shit ton of money. Make like a Sonic game, a racing game where it's basically the boost gameplay since it's already pretty much a racing game. Make it multiplayer, have like leaderboards and shit.
Yeah.
That would be great. Like
There's
if you want the boost game to stick around, let's just have it be a racing game. That way it can be linear and then people won't complain. But then also make a fucking Chow Garden app.
Yes, please, a Chow Garden app.
Like everybody was like, "Oh, I want the Chow Garden so bad," and I'm like, "No, I don't want it in a game." But if you make an app out of it, like it could totally be a serviceable app. Like basically, like maybe like take the Sonic Runners Adventure app, and like you run through to get Chow collectibles and shit, and then you go raise Chow Gardens, and then you like go through and like raise them and shit. Like that would, and then you could like slip in microtransactions, and people would totally buy it because they're stupid, and then boom, there you go.
Yeah,
people do like their child gardens. Like,
yeah, but if you're looking for something like a Sonic Racer, look up Mad Dash Racing on the original Xbox. It's like a mascot racing game.
Running through the speed of sound.
Yep. Sega, put me in charge of Sonic. Just do it. I know what to do.
If you beat the game Mad Dash Racing, you get to unlock Gex the Gecko.
Oh, that's awesome!
Wow. What a great surprise.
Yeah.
Oh, you know,
Gex the Gecko.
To put in your argument, Nolan, about how you and Sega, the last time they put fans in front of a project, it sold really well.
Sonic team, hit me up. I obviously don't know much about programming and stuff, but I can be a good I can be a good series producer and be like, no, we need to make games like this. We need to do this and that.
I could be the idea guy.
Yeah.
Let me be the idea guy. I have good ideas for Sonic.
That's literally like in the creative field, you're like literally the worst person, Nolan. Not in that, but like the idea guy. The guy's like, I don't know how to actually make this, but I have great ideas. Is like the pinnacle of like what creatives hate.
Yeah. I mean, I got an idea. Let's have like Kingsman, the church, the fight scene, the game. You know, we got to have a bunch of people on screen fighting each other. That's what we need to game out of.
Listen, Izzy, everybody already hates me, so. Oh no. Wonder Dean says the first Sonic game Nolan produced would be the worst Sonic game. Thank you, Wonder Dean. I appreciate it.
Oh, how bad? Okay, it can't be any worse than Sonic Labyrinth on Game Gear.
Oh man, you know what they need to do? Let's just release Sonic Extreme.
Well, I don't know how much of that is completed, so I'm sure they would have released it by now.
Fans literally found the ROM for that, and they're already building off of it. So
whoa,
that's awesome. I mean, like it looked really cool. Like that'd be really neat, you know, visually.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of jarring, just like that fisheye lens. That'd be a little weird.
All right, turn it down a little bit, you know, like.
No, here's something funny though. Chris Sen, who like headed Sonic Extreme, he later worked on another Sonic title. Guess what it was?
What?
Sonic Boom.
Oh.
He's responsible for 2 great Sonic disasters. Poor man. Like it's not his fault. It's not his fault, but he was in the production of it.
Sonic, damn, more like it.
Man, you know how we keep talking about the stuff that we played when we were 12? We could talk about a show that also has 12. I'm good at segues.
Oh.
Hey, Arnold. Is that
12 Forever. Let's talk about 12 Forever.
Talked about 12 Forever.
Not in this podcast.
We
did.
Yeah, we did. You friggin'.
What is there to talk about? It was announced. It looks all right. This is going to be good. I just want to keep talking about Sonic because I hate it.
You're right. We did talk about it. I totally blanked. I forgot completely. We barely talked about it. I think we jumped right into Problem Solvers instead, which is kind of insulting towards 12 Forever.
Geocentric says there are more bad Sonic games than good games, and I'm speaking purely from canonical games, not spin-offs, because then, there would totally be more worse ones. But also he wants us to talk about Coco, and me and Pan already made a video on it.
I might not even upload that video yet, so who knows? But let's give our brief thoughts.
Wait, let's dissect that sentence real quick. I might not even upload that video yet.
So, okay, hang on. Basically, like we recorded a review of it, like we did with the 4th Powerpuff Girls review. You know, I gotta edit it and stuff, and
I literally just called Pan to talk about MomoCon stuff, and then he's like, "Let's record a video," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I also gotta do one for the Hey Arnold Jungle movie that I did with my Sinful Trash from the Let's Play channel.
So I haven't seen the Jungle movie yet. I didn't realize it aired.
From the creators of Finding Dory and Inside Out.
You've gotta get home by sunrise. I'm turning into a skeleton.
You have to loosen up. Disney Pixar's Coco. Thanksgiving. Rated PG.
Yeah, but brief thoughts on Coco. I really loved it. Like, I felt the third act kind of was like, we're doing this again. But overall, I really loved it. It gave me the feels, what I thought was never real. You know?
Mm-hmm. Izzy, did you see it?
Coco? No, I'm waiting for him to remove that awful shirt.
Then that's never going to happen.
No, they've already announced it. They said that they're removing the winter short after December.
Yay.
And that it was apparently only supposed to be in front of Coco for a limited during the holidays.
Oh,
which
man.
sounds kind of like, yeah, it was intentionally supposed to only be there temporarily.
It was
not
gonna,
because of the backlash.
It was going to air on TV on ABC. For the upcoming video, Top 10 Worst of 2017, animation-wise, there was a segment where I talk about how Coco was mistreated, and I have like a hashtag kill Olaf. And it's like, great, now that hashtag makes no sense, because it's not going to be there anymore. Yeah.
No, it'll still make sense because it's happened. People know what it is.
Okay, yeah, but for those who don't know, there was a 21-minute short before Coco of Frozen called Olaf's Frozen Adventure, and it sucked, but Nolan really liked it for some stupid reason.
I didn't say I really liked it. I just said I liked it better than Coco.
Ouch.
Okay, listen. You must understand. I really don't like Pixar nor Disney.
Oh.
But
monster!
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It was a reflex.
Everybody's gonna hate me anyway. But no, I didn't say I didn't think Coco was bad. I just think it's really weak. I think it was impotent. It recycled a lot of Pixar storytelling tropes again and again, multiple ones. I thought a lot of the characters besides me, the skeleton guy, like he travels with throughout most of the movie, were actually nice, and then everyone else was a sociopath. Which I can't say without getting into spoilers, and I don't want to spoil it for Izzy and cause a bias. So if anybody wants to know, send me an ask on Tumblr, and I'll explain it there.
You're gonna answer every individual person?
No, just one person send me an ask, and I'll just answer one of them.
Oh, you know, they're going to ask you regardless, and they're not going to see the post.
Oh, yeah, no, I know.
Right.
But
I follow you on Tumblr, so, like, I'm going to get spoiled regardless.
Yeah. Well, I put it under a read more. I can do a read more, and I can, like, make a spoiler tag.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm not really that, like, interested in Coco. Like, I don't have a drive to go see it.
Oh.
It just, I don't know. For whatever reason, it's just not catching me.
Yeah, no, that there's a good reason, because it's shit.
No, it's not.
Pan, you have a bias. You're Hispanic. So.
Yeah, I suppose.
Honestly, not even the Hispanic thing aside, like, I just don't get Day of the Dead. It doesn't even have much to do with Day of the Dead.
I don't know much about Day of the Dead either, but I got the movie.
Nolan is the worst member confirmed. Yeah, we already went through this. So
yeah,
Nolan, do you like Illumination? Fuck no.
Do you want to talk about the other pilots on Cartoon Network?
Yes, please. Been waiting.
All right, Summer Camp Island.
We already talked
about that. I mean, hang on. Craig of the Creek. That's what I meant to say. Craig of the Creek.
I don't like Craig of the Creek either.
You don't like it? What's wrong with you, Nolan? Literally worst person on the podcast.
Yeah, I don't care. But it's literally Clarence again, but this time it's with a black family, and then it's going to be loved by automatically everyone just for the skin color. So.
Actually, I'm on Tumblr, and there's a lot of people on Tumblr who hate on it for various reasons already.
Really?
I don't think it's bad or anything. I just think it's obviously like. I just think it's very obviously pandering, like super obvious pandering. I feel
it's more a bit of Recess, and it's sort of its own thing, like in between of Recess and Clarence.
I was gonna say I got an Ed and Eddie vibe from it, like just kind of that, like, you know, exploring the suburbs. I think it's really endearing, and I don't think it's pandering to have a black character by default.
Nolan, what are cartoons no longer allowed to have black characters anymore? Huh?
Well, when it's created by two white guys, I can't help but be suspicious.
Todd McFarlane created Spawn, and he's black.
What?
Spawn's black.
I'm 90% sure your pants sundowning right now.
For some reason, my brain shut off for a second, and I thought you said Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, no.
And for some reason, I thought this legal immigrant cartoon he made, and I was like, you're not about to use that as a example, are you?
What? No.
You don't remember that cartoon Seth MacFarlane made that was super racist, and it was about people at the border?
You mean Family Guy? No.
No. You're
talking about On the Border. It's on Netflix right now, and it's not by Seth MacFarlane.
Border Town
was by Seth MacFarlane.
No, he was produced, but he had no creative involvement. Yeah. He just said, "Here's money, do it."
Oh, okay. Well, then I was incorrect.
Well, I mean, it's safe to get that in because how they advertised it was from people that worked on Family Guy.
I mean, Nolan, Craig McCracken's a dude, and he made a show about little girls. Is he pandering to little girls by making a show about little girls, even though he himself is not a little girl?
No, the creative intent is that he wanted to create a superhero parody, and he thought it would be funny if it was a bunch of little girls.
Okay, so
again, I don't have a problem with a black leading cartoon. The only thing is that I just am worried. I'm suspicious because, especially with news recently, I don't trust anybody anymore in the animation industry. I always think there's some fucking ulterior motive. There's a fucking flow chart, and they're like, maybe our cartoon will sell better if we have a black person in it.
Okay. Devil's advocate here.
Be devil's advocate. Go ahead.
Okay, so in the show itself, the fact that the family's black is literally not brought up in the pilot whatsoever. Okay, the only thing that shows they're black is their skin tone and the voice actors. So if they chose by marketing to include a character of black descent,
a character of black.
I know. Sorry, I'm thinking my argument as I'm speaking, and I'm really bad at it. Is it really that bad if someone gets more representation out of it, even if the reason it was done was malice? It's like when people complain about people donating to charities for tax write-offs or to make them announcing it as a bad person. The charities still get the good deeds. So if it's a couple of guys, making themselves feel more progressive than they actually are, then fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I see your point, but honestly, I still think that's really scummy because it's still just exploitive by practice.
Okay, so we can never make a black character as a star. Todd McFarlane was an asshole for making Spawn black.
I'm not saying that. No.
Yes, you are. What do you got against Todd McFarlane?
What?
Todd McFarlane made Spawn. Spawn is black, and Todd McFarlane is the whitest man ever.
I don't have a problem with a black leading cartoon at all. I like Static Shock as a cartoon.
Yeah.
Are there any more? I like Fillmore. I think Fillmore is funny.
I like the Phil.
To clarify, Static Shock was made by the late Dwayne McDuffie. So.
Yeah. I don't like Static Shock's visual style because it's when digital compositing was a thing. I think it looks hideous.
Hey, the second season got better.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that
let's not keep backpedaling. He's gonna fall off the cliff.
I'm not backpedaling. Oh my god. I'm not trying to speak on behalf of anybody. It's literally just my opinion.
Well, we're expressing our opinion about yours.
Yeah, and you're fine. You can. I'm not saying if you're trying to say something, I'm just gonna explain my point of view.
But no, have you watched the short yet, or the pilot?
Yeah, I have, and honestly, it didn't seem all too impressive to me.
I thought it was just, it was fun, but it's I feel like I've seen it before. I don't really feel like this needs to be a show.
Again, them being black is a problem. I just am paranoid now with the animation industry. Pan, you've said before how you've been feeling bad about it. I feel exactly the same way. I'm just frustrated and worried, and I always worry there's an ulterior motive to everything now. I'm worried that somebody's going to be doing this for reasons that aren't oh, this will make me look better, or this will get more views. That's what I'm saying. I don't have a problem with a black leading show at all, etc. That's just my point of view.
Yeah.
People are calling me racist. That if you think that, that's fine. Whatever.
Mix race to Witch Mountain.
That's my point of view.
What about the jellies? You like the jellies? Got Tyler the Creator.
I haven't seen much of it, but I like Tyler the Creator. He's really funny.
Yeah,
I haven't seen this yet.
I want to
What's the
draw some.
jellies?
I want to draw some fan art of the jellies and say, "Here, Tyler the Creator, notice me. You like cartoons. I like cartoons. We could be cool."
Jason,
I don't like the art
JJ17
style on this.
Jason JJ17 says, Nolan, do you think OKK to whites or Steven Universe panders to Jews? Well, Steven was
What
never.
the fuck?
Yes, Steven was never confirmed to be Jewish, so you
No.
basically shot yourself in the foot there, buddy.
No,
But yeah,
no.
The only thing that like the only reason why people do the Steven's Jewish is because the Steven Universe things that like 8 animators made the same joke.
Oh,
but yeah. Somebody's trying to bring up a false equivalence, like Ian JQ created a show with an alien character when he's an Earthling.
shit.
I
can't argue
started.
that.
Oh yeah, I'm worried about tokenism. Like somebody brought up tokenism. That's what I'm worried about. I'm trying to explain my point of view here. I'm going to be called racist anyway, but whatever.
Yeah,
It'll blow over
You
eventually. I
dig
don't give a
yourself
shit.
deep in this one, you know.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, digging up a hole, digging up a hole, digging.
But to actually talk about Greg in the Creek or Greg of the Creek, I'm a little bit scared about the RPG references being a little too like I feel like it's going to where it's welcome pretty quickly. So I'm wondering what they're going to do about that.
Digging
What are
up
your
a
guys-
hole, digging. You
Oh,
gotta
God.
go dig these holes with broken hands and withered souls. Emancipated all you know. You gotta go dig these holes. 2 suits, 2 tokens in hand. I got no respect cause I'm the new man. Got my shovel, shoes full of sand. Check it out. The tag, the names came in. Digging up a hole, digging.
You done?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you guys seen the intro to Big City Greens, the Disney Channel show?
Oh, yeah, you linked that to me and I was like, okay, the full episode's gonna start. It's like, no, it's just the intro. And I was like, fuck. Yep, it's people going to the city. That's the new pilot.
It's show ran by like 2 people that worked on Harvey Geeks.
Oh, sad.
Not really much to go off of yet, but
Yeah, they're yellow. Not in a racist way. But there was another pilot that came out from Cartoon Network. It was called Tigglewinks, and I feel this was the best one because it was just like, you know what, let's get fucking nuts. Let's go aggressive. It's just like this kid and this cat, and they gotta go solve mysteries, and it's like, it's kind of like Uncle Grandpa, except it's less random, and the jokes make more sense. The randomness makes more sense. It's like exaggerating simple things, like let's say someone gives a high five, the high five slams the other hand, and it goes rocketing around the earth, you know what I mean? It's just fucking nuts, and I love it. Tigglewinks, that's what it's called.
he didn't link me to this one.
Oh, too bad. Well, I thought it was funny.
Pan, always every podcast. Hey guys, watch this. Pan, you didn't link half of the things you wanted us to watch. Oh, that's
Shit.
fine. Whatever.
Yeah. Watch me nay, but yeah, here, I'll type it in for y'all. Tigglewinks.
I'm watching it now,
Yeah.
so we can talk about it.
That was the best short, but overall, you know, Summer Camp Island, I hate that more than life itself. Craig of the Creek, I thought it's okay, but it's not really, I don't feel it's anything special that separates itself from anything else, really.
Same.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, like,
And you were entitled to that opinion, just like anybody else's.
I feel like it's
okay,
too
well,
soon.
No. Let's like that's such a weird.
That's towards the chat for trying to like be sassy with me.
I feel
No.
like it's too
So I was like,
soon after Clarence.
I don't know like why that was such a response to me being like, hey, I like it. That was just weird.
Oh, the dog's barking because I'm a racist, I said, apparently.
Damn.
This Tigglewinks looks like it's like from that Mad TV show. Some of the character designs.
Kinda, yeah.
Ooh, Honey Sriracha says Infinity Train I think got picked up. I found it in some article. If you can find that article, link it. I want to see that.
I mean, I've heard rumors that it's going to come back as a mini-series, but who knows? We'll see.
I think that fits Infinity Train best. Like I don't think it would really work as a TV show as much as a 10-part miniseries like Over the Garden Wall.
But you guys want to get into the questions?
Sure.
Mhm.
Take it on, take it. Take it on, take it on.
digging up a hole, digging. All right. Questions. If anybody has a question, be sure to post your question in the YouTube comments of this YouTube video, or join us in the stream and start out with the word question so it's easier to find. And our first question, let's go to the chat. Jason JJ17, you heard about that Adult Swim Junior rumor? Basically, Adult Swim has like these promos mid-commercials saying, hey, Adult Swim Junior coming 2018. And personally, I think it's just like a joke. I don't believe it's a thing.
Yeah.
I think it would be for their April Fools.
Ooh, yeah, maybe. And they're just showing like preschool shows at 6 a.m.
No, like preschool shows, episodes of their own shows. Like they just like make them shorts or something.
They play Summer Camp Island and are like, oh no, I'm 14 years old and I got in my PJs and my artist is a hipster. Oh no.
Here's one from a sister-free fried. Why does Nolan still have a beard? I have to shave my beard for work. I work at a restaurant and they don't allow beards, but otherwise I would grow it out.
Oh.
If I could.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah. So like me, Nolan, and Pan cameoed in Jim's most recent review, Kikassia, and like half the comments are like, I was expecting Nolan to be more hairy based off how Pan draws him.
Yeah.
I'm not
People either say I'm cute or they say I look ugly or fatter than they thought I would look, or basically most of the time people's expectations are completely ruined by how I look.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Pan, how come you draw Nolan like an ape?
I don't know.
Yeah. How come I look like a gorilla? That's a little racist, don't you think?
Yeah, you're white. It's not racist.
What if I was black? Huh?
I don't know.
What would you?
What if? You know. Oh.
So what are you the real racist?
I'm
here?
watching Teen Titans Go, and Raven just broke into someone's home with a crowbar. What the fuck?
Don't dodge the question, Pan.
Wait, are you watching Teen Titans Go during the podcast? Is that how little you care about
I
this?
just haven't. I don't know. The TV was on. I looked behind me. It's like
He's trying to support Zach.
yeah, I gotta
that's
support
true.
Zach. He worked hard on animating Raven busting open a house with a crowbar. Yeah.
Isn't he a storyboard artist for the
Yeah.
show?
Hey, next question. Jar Martinez says, question, what was your guys' first YouTube video you ever watched? Mine was looking up Lego videos with stop motion and a video called It's Not Easy Being Green with Lego Yoda. What was your guys' first YouTube video?
How am I supposed to remember
I can remember.
Super Smash Bros. By the Big Zeep, I think, where they go, oh man, Smash Bros. Gonna be sweet. Yeah, here you go. Play as Pan.
I love that video. Like, that's basically Kick-Assia
Same.
done right.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll link to that video below. I love that video.
I think the first YouTube video I watched, maybe like the oldest one I can think of, is like teenage girl asking the viewer to go to prom with her, but she's singing it like death metal-ish, like her screamo.
Yeah.
And then like her grandmother pops up in the background and like kind of dances as she's doing it to a song or something. And then just a part was like, no, stop, you're ruining it. It's like, sweetheart, it was ruined before she got into the frame.
But the first YouTube video I ever saw, I remember I was on the forums to, I think, IGN or no, GameFAQs. It was a white website. Or maybe GameStop. But essentially, I was looking up the video game to Bubble Bo. If anyone remembers that anime, it was fucking nuts. But
I love Bubble Bo.
Someone posted like saying, anyone have a link to the theme song? It's really cool. And this was 2006. And I was like, here's this website that uploaded it, YouTube. And I was like, YouTube? Is this a porn site? This doesn't look right. YouTube. There was something oddly sexual sounding about YouTube. I don't know.
YouTube can join in too. Just pay $13.99.
Yeah. All right, next question.
Apparently, I should talk about BeastWars.
BeastWars. What about BeastWars?
Nothing. I like it.
Yeah, I remember
Next
there was
question.
a BeastWars 64 game that was a Blockbuster exclusive.
Oh, you're talking about the Transmetals game where it was a fighting game and it wasn't N64 exclusive. It was exclusive to Blockbuster.
Oh, I mean, yeah, exclusive to Blockbuster. That's why I could never find that Hollywood video.
Yeah, it was kind of cool because like on the PlayStation version, they replaced some of the characters with other characters. So like Silverbolt, my favorite character from BeastWars, was in the PlayStation 1, but I've only ever played the N64.
Hang on, question. Cuddly Donkey One says, question, Vidme announced they'll be shutting down. What are your thoughts on the future of video platforms as a whole? Fuck. Damn, that sucks.
YouTube forever and ever.
Vidme was going to be like, yeah, we're the new YouTube. We're the next generation. We're going to give creators better care for their work, and then they are now shut down. Like, did you guys have any hope in Vidme? Because all the big YouTubers were switching over to it, but I guess it didn't work.
I legitimately, this is the first time I've heard of it.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess.
I thought it would at least like exist, but be like a hippie thing. But no, apparently not.
Rip in peace, Vidme. But you guys remember Rever? That's what Screw Attack and that guy with the glasses used for in the
remember Blip?
Blip came after, but Rever was where like the alternate YouTube started. It was like, well, you upload a video and then you have to wait like 2 days because a real person has to manually check it to see if it's like your own video, and then you put it online and then you monetize it. It was a different time. Yeah.
One last question. Izzy, pick out a question. We both picked out one.
I technically did the BeastWars one, but why do you think Venture? Okay, true. Why do you think Venture Brothers is less popular than Rick and Morty? Also, is Pan going to show his face at MomoCon?
Probably.
That's a good question.
Maybe.
Why is... Yeah, I feel Venture Brothers was ahead of its time, because it's like it was like a comedy cartoon with a plot and everything on Adult Swim, and it's like that predates Rick and Morty and tons of these cartoons that were doing like plot lines and comedies. So I thought, why?
I think just with the digital age where people can share shit much more easily, like it didn't really pick up until the mid 2010s where digital things became more popular. Like companies had Facebooks and stuff, but then they started branching out to more websites and things became shareable a lot easier.
Yeah. And like,
yeah, but
Venture Brothers had too much of a gap between hiatuses.
Yeah, well, because that happens when you only have like 2 people working on the whole show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, and also Rick and Morty has a ton of merchandise in between that people can eat up and memes and shit.
Venture Brothers has merchandise. Venture Brothers has like figures and like shirts and stuff.
Well, comics. Like Rick and Morty has comics too.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, like other stories people can read, and they also have shorts and like behind the scenes shit, and like DVDs are more advertised. Obviously, Venture Brothers probably has DVDs, but
I would also like to say that like Venture Brothers is a much more complex show.
Yeah.
Like I think you have to have high HQ. HQ.
Man,
got him.
But no, like Venture Brothers, there's a lot more established history, and like you can't just like start at any time like Rick and Morty. While the 3rd season had more of a plot, which didn't really work out for them. Let's not do that again, please.
And then they splat out. Said, "Yeah, we're just gonna go back to season 1."
Just like South Park.
But that's just Dan Harmon style. I'll experiment. Nope, let's just go back to the original. And then 2 episodes into season 4, it's going to be like season 1, and the rest of it's going to go completely like left hand if it's anything like Community. But no, like Venture Brothers is just so much. Like you kind of have to like go back and start from scratch from number 1. So it's just very intensive, and it's not hard to follow, especially now that you can just like go and watch them anywhere pretty much and just like binge watch it. But it's definitely a show that builds off itself. And even with it had like a weak, like 4th season, the season 5 and 6 got so much better because of it, like even when it like doesn't land, it still laid down some groundwork that's going to like pay off later.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, because it's like, yeah, that's kind of a hard show to get into. You can't just jump into any episode like Rick and Morty can.
Plus also like Rick and Morty is so much newer. Like there's only 3 seasons. Like Venture Brothers has 6.
Yeah.
I
mean, but I guess, but I guess it makes sense to call Venture Brothers ahead of its time. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I fucking love Venture Brothers. Don't get me wrong. Like it's one of my favorites. Like I actually went as Henchman 21 one year for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, dude, it was really cool.
Speaking of things that were ahead of its time, Symbiotic Titan.
Yeah.
There's
is it really ahead of its time?
I'd say so. I mean, it probably would have, like with Voltron, it would have, if it came out at the same time Voltron did, it probably would have be as popular as Voltron was, for sure.
I don't know if that's like a time thing.
I think
Like,
it was. Cartoon Network was going through CN Real. Cartoon Network wasn't paying attention to Symbiotic Titan. Adventure Time came out. That was way more popular. And then they didn't give Titan a chance due to background issues. So
Yeah.
I totally think Titan was a time problem.
Yeah.
I don't know because like not Venture Brothers. Sorry, I'm on that. Voltron also has like brand recognition. Like,
Who the fuck knows about Voltron though?
It
I mean,
was a
it's
classic
super
80s show.
the very first episode
but
of Robot Chicken is a Voltron skit. Like,
yeah, but like in the mainstream for a kid's show, like no kid's gonna know what Voltron. I'm pretty sure like people over 20 or 30 would know, but not teenagers like the show.
Yeah, because only like kids under 12 are watching Voltron.
I didn't say that. I said literally just now, like people over 20 or 30 would know about Voltron and watch it, but like there's also teenagers and like kids who like are the primary like audience who like make it up mostly.
And guess where they get their news? They get their news from people like us. Like they're the ones that find out about the shows because they watch YouTube videos.
Do people really want to watch us though for news? I'd compare Pizza Party Podcast to the Fox News of like animation news.
No, that's Cartoon Brew.
Okay, Cartoon Brew. We'd be like we're like the Republican newspaper equivalent.
Yeah.
Why do we have to be Republicans? I don't.
Let's be. What's the third?
Now.
What's the third option? The crazy one.
Because I'm
clarify. Only 1/4 of the podcast is racist.
So
only 1/4 of this podcast is racist.
Pan is racist too.
We can be. What are the leagues? What are the? Okay, there's. What's the third one?
There's passive racist.
No.
There's like grandpa my grandpa literally made a really tasteless joke like when I last saw him. He just made a terrible black joke and I was like, Grandpa, you can't say that. This isn't like Pan, remember when you talked about like racist grandpas?
Yeah, you should
like in one video that was literally my grandpa and it was like, yes, Grandpa, he's allowed to drink from the fountain.
You should see the episode of Brace Face. Anyone remember the show Brace Face?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I do. They apparently got away with
there was an episode of Brace Face where Brace Face's grandpa comes over and like he meets Brace Face's friend who's dating an Arabian boy, Iranian boy, I don't know, and he says, "Oh," look, the grandpa just says, "Oh, is this girl part of your harem?" And he also talks about like, so did you ride here on camel?
My real name's Muhammad.
Oh, you're an Arab. You part of his harem?
Harem?
Yeah, don't know how these fellas do it. I had one wife and that kept me busy enough. And when do you get your own camel?
Don't need one. My dad lets me use his.
Good for him. Just make sure you don't lend it to Maria.
Why?
Well, everyone knows the Chinese are such bad drivers. I'd sure hate to see him steering a camel.
Sharon? Oh, Grampy.
No, stop that.
And like the whole episode, like the episode ends on, normally a cartoon about racism always ends on racism's bad, but this episode it just ends on the message of, look, he's old. What are you gonna do? But seriously, the episode. Look up Brace Face, Gray Matters. That's the episode. I don't know why it was called Gray Matters. I guess gray hair, Brace Face. But let's answer one last question from the chat.
We already did.
I don't want to end on racist grandpas that are going to die. That's sad.
No, it's not. It's not sad because they're going to be dead and then there will be racists in the world.
Oh, yeah.
That's uplifting.
Oh, how about this? Did you guys hear that? I don't really watch Riverdale. It looks kind of dumb. And I think that's why people like it.
It is dumb, but go on.
But apparently Netflix announced they're doing a spin-off of it with Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which originated in Archie Comics.
Which is crazy because most people know Sabrina as that sitcom in the 90s, and no one really knows that's actually a comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for canceling Sonic, Archie, for all these stupid live-action sitcoms. I appreciate it.
They're not sitcoms. They're drama shows. It's much more sophisticated.
Well, they're supposed to be dramas, but they come off as sitcoms.
I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, like I don't really care about Riverdale, but I do really like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, mostly because of the sitcom. So
Listen, Riverdale
yeah.
is weird.
Yeah.
To his hat,
My
he's
mom grew up
weird.
watching Archie, and she's just like, "What the fuck is this? This ain't Archie.
All right.
This ain't Archie."
All right, gang.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is the
it.
end of the podcast.
Yep.
Did you just become a different character mid-sentence, mid-word?
Hey, so you want me to sing something at the end of the thing? Oh, I can sing the whole theme.
No.
Oh,
Nope.
okay. Well, I guess this is the end
Song
of
for
the
you.
podcast, everyone. I'm Emily I'm Stephanie Vasquez.
I feel like your characters, your self-inserts are starting to get
I'm
using
Pan
there, blurring some
Pizza.
lines.
Who are you people? If there's any sexual humiliation stuff in the Loki IRL comics, it has nothing to do with anything, okay? Which there is going to be one up in the next update of the comic.
Make me uncomfortable.
You know how it's look. Quentin Tarantino can do it, and he's a respectable artist, and so is Wonder Woman, the creator of Wonder Woman. He just had a fetish for a powerful woman tying people up, and that became a proud female icon. It's like, if he can do it, so can I.
You know what? I'll reserve my judgments for the Craig's execution when the series comes out. Then I guess I'm just saying I'm worried. That's all. But
Look.
Whatever. Also, do y'all remember that episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob and Squidward turned into snails?
Was that lost media? Like, there's an alternate version allegedly.
Was there an alternate version?
Okay, there's a thing on the Lost Media Wiki essentially saying that there was another cut of that thing where we slowly see Squidward transform into a snail, but the ones we see on TV now are just abrupt Squidward getting hit by the needle.
Why not ask C.H. Greenblatt? He probably knows.
I'm not gonna bother him for random dumb stuff like that. You know, that's dumb.
It's not dumb stuff. It's
I know. It's like, hey, I only use these contacts like once per year, so I don't want to bug them. I don't know. It's just like a time gap of just like, imagine if someone called you like every other week saying like, hey, does this episode exist of SpongeBob? That'd be weird. Oh, someone said that wasn't that debunked.
I wouldn't care.
Possibly, Yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
This is the end. Wonder Woman was a fetish character, so
I always wanted to turn into a slug. It's not a fetish.
Still is, baby.
All right. Goodbye, kids. We'll see you all at MomoCon.
Okay.
That's like so far away.
It's far away.
Yep. Bye.
Will I get
We'll see
a
you
ride?
at MomoCon. Help us make money for the Patreon.
I don't have a car. I don't know how to drive.
Okay, stop the
Wait,
stream.
come back.